And we're back. That countdown is long when it actually goes live, like right away. Sometimes it waits like 10 seconds left for me to say it goes live. But
Dude, that thing feels like 2 hours.
Well, it's only 30 seconds. But we're back here for another week, but just early. We got one person watching now. No show next week, unless you want to do a show on your own. I've got the regular job, but then for the next 15, 20 weeks after that, I'll be able to do a show because every time I have to work on a Saturday night, I'll be at a hockey tournament and I'll be able to take all this stuff with me to a hockey tournament and do it live from a hotel room.
You play hockey in Canada?
No, my kid does. I'm too old and injured. I can't do anything. So
you and me both, dude.
Last time I played hockey, I got carried off they picked me up and they pushed me off the ice. That's what they did.
Was that with one of those little red things that you hold on to stay upright?
Nope. No, I just kind of stood there and they just kind of give me a push.
Okay.
Yep. Mr. Barrett, we were just talking with you off air, how there's so many partner reveals that are coming on shows, and you were going to do a partner reveal with Mr. Spencer on the show here, but then you guys decided to put it out today to the world. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was cute. Like, they're like, oh, we're going to go live. Like, you posted it on Facebook, you losers.
Well, we're on Facebook now. Yeah, we said it like, okay, yeah, we did say it last week. Yeah. Just a little technical thing. That's whatever. But yeah,
it's a Newfoundland thing.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Castro, Miss Hawkins, how you doing? It's a little weird. Like it's the off season. It's the official off season.
Well, Doug, and that's the big thing too, because here's the thing. In years past, between Worlds in the start of the new season, so it was literally like early August through early October, there was no contract negotiations. There was no talk of anything else. Yes, it is hobby horse season.
He admits it now.
He did send me a picture of trying to feed his daughter's horse a Miller Lite. I said that would make the horse a champion. But there used to be that like month and a half where you couldn't even negotiate. Remember? Like they used to say, like at Spencer's, you're not even supposed to talk to sponsors. It's like taboo. Now it seems like, yeah, there is a tiny bit of an off season, but it kind of blends together. Because everybody just starts talking and trying to figure out the next season, because although the pro season really doesn't start till like, what is it, February now? Somewhere in there?
I think after that, because we'll talk about this in a little bit, but there was something put out where contracts have to be signed by March 2nd.
Yeah, so, I mean...
For the state. Pro season here starts way earlier than that.
There's pros in Canada?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Pro quality. Speaking of that, we've got it's the off season, but we've got cornhole happening. We had a top 100 in Ontario and a top 100 in Newfoundland. We'll talk about some results here in a little bit. Tomorrow we have the pro qualifier, so 2 more spots coming from the Ontario region.
Well, because we got to get to what is it, 42?
Yes, I don't think we're going to get there because we're going to have some people saying no.
Okay.
I know of one, Albert Parsons, who said he's hung up and retired. So that's one. I'm not sure of other people, but and then like the States, I'm not sure if those people are going to be replaced. Right.
Well, in years past in the States, it has been replaced. I know this year they're saying
there's not
going to be a lot of replacement. You're hearing a lot of rumors out there and chatter about to get to 100.
Yep.
So that literally drops off 156?
Yep.
Right? Because 256 has been the last couple seasons. So to get to 100, that drops a lot of people off. But at the same time, how do others qualify? Because in the past, it was the top 100 doubles, top 50 singles, or something like that would requalify every year. So it kind of kept it a little more interesting for some of the players in the middle to kind of fight for those last couple pro spots.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to see what happens this year, especially where even take pro out of the mix right now, Doug. I'm hearing a lot of people crying about some of the open formats.
Yeah, and for me being and I talked with Matt about this Thursday night. I wasn't at league Thursday night. I had to go and drop some stuff off at the end of. I got there right at the end. Michelle Hunter's in the chat. She was going to be the roving reporter again tonight, but she says she's already back at the Airbnb, and after a 12-hour day of cornhole today, she's too tired to come on.
Oh, that's such a weak excuse.
Yeah, but anyway,
look at Doug. I did change the banner behind me too.
Yeah, I've still got the same one.
Well, I put my.
We got it's the new one, yeah.
Well, I didn't put. Well, I haven't signed any sponsorship contracts this year yet, so.
And you know what, and seeing that there again, like it's now what the second week in a row here. Well, I guess there was a week off, but I got tonight at my son's hockey here tonight. I got told that I should do the announcing at the games because I am the voice. I've got the so people are starting to call the voice right here. Yeah,
Canadians are so stupid.
But yeah, so the formats. I was talking with Matt Thursday night here, and the pro format for Canada next year is going to stay in the pro division, single elimination, and then at the national championship will be double elimination. Which I said, you know what, I really felt it in the double elimination. I really like the single elimination because we had there are 32, 38 spots, whatever, and 2 hours. I was done at tournament. We were gone. We were out. I really like that, and we're going to continue that with the single elimination.
Well, and the man, the myth, the legend came out over the last couple of days and talked about next year's format. Because here's the thing: no matter what format you play, people are going to be pissed off, right? Because people are going to like rounders, people are going to hate rounders, people are going to argue about everything else. But with round limited, I kind of like it because in some of these opens, it will actually give some people more games.
Yes.
Right?
Just one thing I'm seeing in the chat here, it is going to be single stacked. I'm not going to be getting the stacked portion. I'm going to be getting just the single elimination top side. So yeah, so the pros will stay. So then we'll actually play to a position, which will help in the points standing. Which that's why I like the stacked format. So yeah, so they will be playing in a single elimination for the singles and the doubles, but it'll be a still play through a stacked. You'll just be on the live feeds. You'll just be getting the top side of the single elimination.
Well, I think the thing with it too, though, is like when the ACL starts talking about, round limit and everything else like that. I like it because they're trying to add other stuff in too, right? They're trying to add a crew cup in. They're trying to add some other events to get more people playing throughout the weekend. Going out there and playing, going 0-2 sometimes isn't fun when you pay, $60, $70 to play in an open division or, intermediate or whatever it is you're going to be playing in. So it's going to keep some people, in there a little longer to keep them, growing the game. See what I did there?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. And being able to call more round limited games in our teams event here, I kind of like it. I like the round limited because you could get, again, for me, without anyone sitting beside me most of the time for those games, I'm not calling like a half hour, 45-minute long game by myself. It's a round limited. It kind of keeps you going. And I think there's more action in the games then as well.
Yeah, and that's what I like about round limited sometimes is it's either a huge defensive game where it's a lot more strategy in it, or if you're not throwing well and you've kind of given up some points, you got to kind of go with a little bit of reckless abandon there, right? To catch back up. Where that's where, the airmail is going to come in. That's where, some heavy pushes are going to happen. And I'd like to see that sometimes because I think that's where it's going to make it more exciting besides a 45 round four bagger, four bagger, four bagger, four bagger. I mean, that's not exciting to some of the people out there, especially to me. I like a dirty game.
Yeah.
I want to see people, have to make some shots, have to, pull a bag from the bottom of the board, a couple hard drag pushes in there, some, just some make the game a lot more interesting for the people at home. And I think it really shows off the player's ability at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And like it's like I said, it's more exciting for me if we can keep those round limit games might go a little quicker. I'd have less opportunity to forget to change cameras. But then that's where I'm trying to have a meeting to have a permanent person beside me because that's the thing I've said to some people is that with me up here, I'm one. You've seen me. People in the chat have seen me. I'm doing the chat, doing the cameras, making sure the cameras are all working. If they're not working, I'm trying to then call the game, fix the camera, do the things that 4 people do in the States, right? And so just give me one person that they can be in charge of changing cameras. That can help out a lot.
Listen, just one tech person just sitting there helping you out, it goes a long way.
Yep.
Where you can kind of focus on the game and not worry about, the cameras are huge worrying about it because you got to keep switching the angle. But if you could just sit there and focus on the chat in the game, it actually makes it a lot more interactive between the people at home and the game.
Yep. Seeing Scott Francis comment, no. I want to be able to hit the board.
No, but 30 feet, I mean, it really is 30 feet for some players based on if you're a step or
it's hole to hole is 30 feet, right?
Yeah.
33 feet.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't know. I don't think we need to add any more elements to the game right now until, it starts to go way more mainstream right now. We're trying to make this an Olympic sport. We're trying to grow it across the world. I know next week we have the World Championships in Germany, where I think bracket A is going to destroy bracket C.
I had a quick look at the brackets. I would like to try and put something out a little later on in the week. I know bracket C is a Canadian one. I do like the way that they did it, that they spread out the top 4 from last year, being USA, France, Germany, and Canada. They're all going in as the top seed in each.
Well, I like that because my prediction, and I'll say it right here. I think it's going to be bracket A versus bracket C in the finals. But we could also, because we spread it out a lot, I think we can see maybe an underdog come in, right? We got some teams from, I think it was like Croatia and some other places that, might be some dark horse candidates, a couple bags here and there. Because on paper, it looks like it should be USA versus Canada in the finals, but anything can happen because anyone can play.
Well, again, people thought that last year too, and then France has some great players. Germany's got some great players, right? I think I don't want anyone getting upset with me, but I think this year a little stronger team going over from Canada, right? We've already seen what Connor and Paul can do against top level talent in a doubles match. I think it's kind of up for grabs.
No, I think it is. I think it's going to be very interesting. The U.S. team it's a pretty hot team.
Yeah, so who's going over? I'm trying to remember who's going over for the U.S. again.
It's got two of the greatest players in the whole wide world there.
Okay, yeah, Hisner and Birchfield are going, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I believe it's Hisner, Birchfield, Miranda
Hunter
Coy.
Thorne, Miranda Coy.
Yeah. And who are the other two? Hold on. I got to go to the number one player in the world's Facebook page because that's where we found the last time.
Because last year there was just 4-player teams.
Yep. So it's Coy, Birchfield, Hisner, Walker, Thorne, Chamberlain.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So that is the 6-person pairing for the U.S.
So last year the 4 players from the U.S. were Maudlin, Tony Smith, Birchfield, and Hunter Thorne.
Yes, because last year I want to say Trey played and then went to Italy for like a week afterwards, I think it was. And I think he's extending this one too, where he basically took the time to travel Europe.
Yeah.
Cornhole backpacking, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Riding the boards, not the rails. I don't know. But listen, if I had a sponsor that would pay me to go to Europe for the week, sign me up. I might need new sponsors this year. Hey, can this guy hit me up or this person call me?
If I had a sponsor, I'd just pay me to go to Toronto.
just pay you to go live.
Yeah, that's all you got. You got ones that pay you to go to California and yeah. So the other thing I wanted to touch on is a little bit. There was a little bit of action on ATC this week. It's a little post. Someone made a post about something, which is how I found out that pro contracts are up March 2nd.
Well, technically, right now, all pros are out of their contracts.
Yes, until they sign.
But if it doesn't start until the 2nd, or it depends on how you write your contract. But right now, every single pro, since Worlds or Spencers, depending on how it's written, are no longer in contract right now.
Mm-hmm. So the thing that went out on ATC last week, very frustrating to me. Probably not for the frustration part of some other people. Some other people were upset just at all the wording in the post, and I kind of was like, kind of a dick move, right? Still, but for me, it was the next day when that post got taken down, deleted. For me, it's if you're gonna put something out there, and you're gonna talk whatever, stand behind what you say. Nothing frustrates me more than when people do the hit and run and they'll put something out to get their name or get people feeling whatever for them, and then they delete it as if I didn't put anything out there. Guess what? It's still out there because people are screenshotting it, sending it around.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, and I put some stuff out there and deleted it in the past, but it was never like hugely inflammatory, right? Sometimes it was just how I was feeling, right? I know I put some stuff out there and, my new best friend, Stacy, has been upset about it. But, it was about like the organization or it was about a policy. I never really went for the full frontal attack and just said, this is crap and it's bullshit and whatever. There's been a lot of posts that I have made through the years that I've typed in and then never sent.
Yes.
Because I take a deep breath, I read it, and then I'm like, I can't say this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because this is either going to hurt me or hurt a relationship that I may need to have today or somewhere down the road.
Yep. Yeah, and like for me, if I'm putting something out there, I'm going to have facts behind what I'm typing out, right? And if people are putting stuff out there, if you want to know by what I say, Dion, we've already talked about this. Come to me and ask me if you're unsure what I meant by something. Come and talk to me. I'll talk with anyone about what I put out.
Well, that's the thing too. You're Canada, so you're very Canadian. So sometimes when you write stuff, I'm just like, what is he trying to say? And then I have to read it in Canadian, and then it makes sense.
But no, just it's when you put stuff out there and then you delete it, it's never gone.
No, but that, I
It's
mean,
never gone.
I'll put it in the chat here. You know, that's growth, right?
Yep.
Where you got to learn what you can and can't say,
Mhm.
right? And sometimes, listen, it could still be how you feel. I'm not discounting your feelings because we deal, and I tell this with the kids that I work with every day. We deal with the messiest thing in the entire world, Doug. Do you know what that is? Other people.
I was gonna say a phone that the charger won't stay in. Yeah.
No, but it's other people.
Yep.
It's messy because we all have feelings, we all have beliefs. We all come from kind of that, the differences in when something that resonates with me might not resonate with you,
Mhm.
right? Even though we're pretty similar, but we grew up very differently, right? I
Yep.
grew up below the 49th parallel. You grew up above it. But when it comes down to it, and you're putting yourself out there as a public figure, right? And somebody that others may look up to in this game, you have to really think about what hill you're going to die on.
Mhm.
Because I don't care about other people's political beliefs. I don't care about their religious beliefs. I'm really just looking to see who they are as a human, as a person, right? Because listen, me and you could be completely different religions, completely different political parties. I don't care. I'm looking at you as a person. All that other stuff for me goes to the side. But when you're talking about sponsors, that's a big, big difference.
Mhm.
Because I don't talk politics because to me I grew up with my dad telling me that's your personal beliefs. Don't share it with anybody. We
Yep.
never put lawn signs out on the yard, and like I don't do any of that stuff today.
Mhm.
Because that's just who I am and how I was raised. And too many people put it out in the ether of what they're going to do and who they are. Listen, everybody knows who I am. I'm just a loudmouth, stupid kid from Somerville that loves the Canadians.
Yeah.
And I love this game. But I learned many, many years ago when I started working in retail that I will write emails, type it out, read it, and then delete it.
Yep.
Because I come from a place of passion a lot of times when I'm responding to stuff, and that just does not translate into a lot of times a professional world, Doug.
That is my even my wife says that's my other downfall is I can't be fake. It's not in me to be fake. If you're gonna get my opinion 99.99% of the time. So now there's been a couple stuff in recently that I now have a secretary that I send stuff to. They clean it up, send it back, and say, okay, respond this way. Because
listen, this whole chat AI stuff that's coming out, I don't know if they can fix my not emotionalness sometimes.
Yeah. Good day, Peter Gunn. So that's with that. That's off that topic.
That's such a great name. Peter Gunn. Gunn. Yep. Peter Gunn.
Yeah. So
wait,
because
Doug,
this is
before we move forward,
okay,
I just have to say congratulations to Austin Hawkins. He had his first ever golf match. Lost by 4 strokes, but listen, only 4 strokes. He's out there killing it. So congratulations, Austin. Keep going. Keep shooting them straight and towards the hole.
Because golf. You think I'm bad at cornhole? See me play golf.
Listen, I play a different game. It's called swing fuck. Because my balls going this way. Yeah, I get my money's worth when I play. So, one day me and Austin can be doubles partners, and he'll hold me up.
For me, golf ruins a good walk.
Well, I get a lot of steps in.
Yeah. So, as I said, because this is the cornhole off season, we have results from today. Because we had the top 100 in St. John's, Newfoundland. They had their blind draw doubles. They stretch it out. They had the blind draw doubles today, and in Ontario here they had the singles and the doubles. We'll go Ontario first. Ontario did 2 singles brackets, an A and a B. A bracket was won by Daniel Faulkner, getting ready to head over to Germany. Finishing second was a Windsor player who's, I'm hearing so much stuff about him. Sam Malou from Windsor. He finished second to Daniel. And then in the B division, Glenn McNutt takes that down. He double dipped a guy who I've been hearing a lot about. Got to see him a bit on one of my last live feeds I did at a conference in Ontario here, and that is Jonah Pavani. I think I'm thinking next year you're going to hear a lot of him at some of the Ontario conference events. In the open doubles, Dave Dunlop and Glenn McNutt, one of the top teams in Ontario. We'd like to see them playing against the top competition a little more, but again, we get to see them at conferences.
What was it? Glenn McNutt?
Yes.
It sounds like a Cars character.
He helps me in the chat. He does the chat AI stuff and then gives me the information that I'm wrong about.
Well, no, but he sounds like he should be with like Lightning McQueen. Ka-chow.
Yeah, but he throws like lightning. Like he is a great thrower. Like one of the top players from Ontario. They defeat Steve Hensby, who took some time off of cornhole. He's back, and Steve was partnered up with the. I'm surprised she made time to go to the top 100 because she's in Hawaii. Like she's the one that went from Hawaii to Ottawa, bypassed the Spencer's stuff.
Yeah,
Jody Nafto
tournament.
She finishes second with Steve Hensby in the open doubles.
So did they do their top 100 today?
Yes, they did they did that, and then they did the top 100 blind draw tonight. I don't have any results. I've seen Rammer in the chat if he has any of the stuff from there
today.
No, so the pro qualifiers is tomorrow morning.
Okay, tomorrow morning they do their qualifier. Okay.
Yep. So check the down and back page. I won't be there. Michelle Hunter will be there. If she's not still in bed, she'll be doing some live stuff
she was in the chat a few minutes ago.
Yes. So she might be going live from there tomorrow. We'll see. And then in St. John's, they didn't do their pro qualifier today or tomorrow. I don't think it's tomorrow. But they did do their top 100 blind draw. They did 3 divisions. A division was won by Stephen Keynes. He almost finished top 10. He just lost out the last tournament, finishing in the top 10 in Newfoundland. And some other guy, Dion Kuza, was his partner. Yeah, I don't know. Some new player. He's an up and coming guy.
Is he playing in the qualifier?
I don't think he's going to play in the qualifier.
No.
I think he's just a new player.
Oh, just a new
Dion
guy.
Kuza, yeah. I think Dion Kuza is a new player. Yeah. Second in the A division was Kim Oakley and Wayne King. Third went to Jeffrey Walsh and Graham Evely.
Wait a minute, Kim Oakley, is that part of the Oakley family?
It is, yes.
Okay, that's a part of Amanda's family.
Yes, that is Amanda's mother.
Oh, it's Amanda's mom. Okay.
Mother's mother. B division went to finishing first, Glenda Marshall, Curtis Walsh. Second went to Len Hannabury and Alan Noseworthy, and they probably had a good feed of dicks because that's Alan's company.
What?
Dick's Fish and Chips over in Belle Island. It's a great place to go.
You fucking Canadians, Jesus Christ.
And then the third place team was winging it. Glenn McFarlane and Dougie Squires.
Ooh, and Glenn is winging it, right?
It is, yeah. That's why. I thought I'm trying to get the plug in here, right?
But I'm just trying to let the people know that here in the US, Glenn is Mr. Winging It.
Yes. Yep. Then they did a C division, which went to Sandra Cable and Danielle Rideout, finishing first. Second was Adele Crummel and Monica O'Brien. And third place, thankfully, Randy Oakley finally got a partner because the one he had at Nationals, little iffy. He was partnered up with Randy McKay, and they got third place there. So,
the one thing I love about you guys up there is that we start to hear a lot of different names as the tournaments go on.
Yes.
Right? There's been, a ton of different people that have, come into the spotlight and really started to play better as more and more tournaments have happened. So, Doug, I'm gonna say I will be making it. I'm going to try to make at least two Canadian Opens.
Okay, well, one is not an open, but it's coming up here soon for Byron in the chat. September 28th, Abbey Center, Black Falls, Alberta is the Alberta Pro Qualifier. 2 spots up for grabs there. There's going to be some good players not get a spot. There's Peter Gunn. There's Dustin McLaughlin from BC is going to be coming over for that one. It's kind of like a Western kind of qualifier.
So here's the thing, though. But if I'm not part of that province, can I still go to try to qualify?
It's kind of like the Western. I believe it's still kind of do like a Western qualifier. It's the Alberta Conference, but a qualifier for the West.
So can I play multiple qualifiers?
No. Just one in your region.
Okay, so I'm going to play one in my region, just like down here. So I can only, for me, if I had qualified, I could have done the Mass State qualifier to try to get one spot. Okay.
Yep.
So kind of same rules.
Yep. And all the qualifiers this year are just there's at least 10 names for those 2 spots. That is just it's going to be tough to get in there.
Well, that's the thing. No matter where you go, I don't care what state you're in down here in the US. I don't care what province you're up there in Canada. These are coveted spots. So it makes it that much harder to get in and qualify because here's the thing. You can still qualify today and then you got to figure out the whole sponsorship deal.
Yep.
Me and you have talked about this all week, right?
Yep.
Because there's going to be a lot of big name people over the next couple months that have a seat in pro, but may not get funding because of, the landscape. So, how does that work for them? Do they now have to go to a local person like a Winging It or some other place to try to, get a couple bucks to travel?
Yep. I know that for this year, I will be sponsoring a couple of Canadian pros. So that will be kind of making an announcement here coming up in the future, the near future. But yeah, it's.
I did sponsor a Canadian player last year. Only one.
Well, you were on one jersey, I was on the other. So I may pay to have you off one.
Well, which is funny because down, I don't know about up there, but down here in the US, you literally have to submit the logos to get approved before they can even go in a jersey. And there was one logo that I know I've never submitted, and it will probably get denied because it had my face on it, to be approved by the ACL.
Well, I think up here is approved by ACL Canada up here.
Oh, okay. So I have a chance in Canada. I'm known internationally.
Yep. And even this year, the top 100 in St. John's, they had the Diamondback logo on their jerseys, on the top 100 jerseys.
I love that. That's here's the thing. I love the top 100 format, but the hard part down here, and it's probably the same up there. You tell me if I'm wrong or right, but when you put that logo on a jersey, you're sponsoring half the jerseys. So you're putting in some serious cash to fund those top 100 jerseys in that region. And
well, I know the cash I put in was they're on all the jerseys.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm just one spot on there, but top 100 going away next year. I think in principle, I think each provincial director here may still do it. I think.
Yeah.
Or they're being encouraged to keep it going.
So coming up, is there any news in ACL Canada about board stamps yet? Because I know there's no Canadian companies approved at this time.
Yeah. So I think that is still in the works. So
okay.
So we have this year. The big thing going on in the States about them, it's starting to creep up here. People are starting to wonder about, I can't do this, can't do that. We don't have any board makers that are making enough boards to qualify for that board stamp. So it's kind of a thing that it's still being worked on.
But let's be honest, right now, there's only really 4 companies that are making enough boards to really qualify, right? Yep. We've got Titan X Factors, we've got BG, we've got All Cornhole, Titan, BG, All Cornhole, and who's the other one?
Cornhole Solutions. Do they make enough?
No, they are not part of it. Give me a second here. Let me do some research, Doug. You talk to the people.
Well, no, and in Canada here, for board makers that are making enough boards to put out to leagues, I'm counting 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking there's only 4 or 5 that are actually really putting stuff that I know of here in Canada.
Yeah, because you got JC, right?
Yep.
What are some of the
Derek's saying Ultra for you, but Candy's she's getting like 7 emails a day, probably like 7 emails a day about getting stuff.
Yeah, Ultra's the other one too. Yeah, so I think that's the other company right there. I can't believe I forgot them. But yeah, I mean, so you only get a handful of companies that are making stamp boards down here. I mean, it gets a little more convoluted as you go to other countries, right?
Yep.
And the hard part right now is I know in the States, Candy, it's like $70 to $80 for shipping for a set of boards because of the weight. You put in that VAT tax to ship to Canada. I mean, you're adding what? Probably
a lot.
150, 200.
Derek's trying to make deals in the chat here.
What's he trying to do?
He wants those, and then Candy's even responding.
Yeah, listen, Titan.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Breaking news coming in from Lance.
I know a couple Team Titan members. I may have talked to a few this week.
We don't know about that.
No, but I'm still in contract negotiations right now. I'm negotiating my contract in perpetuity.
I wouldn't mind one.
Yeah, so Candy says it's about $60. Is that $60 extra for bags or boards, Candy, to go north?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know it's even a lot to go down. I know Jamie went to send the ship a set down to Dallas. I think someone wanted it, and he just so he got the pro card. He's gonna be
Congratulations. Listen, and that's great. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people over the next couple of weeks that are, going to be getting their pro card maybe that didn't qualify through either the standings or through Rock Hill. The biggest thing I will tell you before you start approaching some of the bigger companies is look in your own backyard.
Yes.
Approach some of the people around you and really just starting to do some legwork. Yeah, so Candy's saying about $60. Listen, me and Doug have already had our pro cards. We're pro.
I was asked by someone today how the top 100 went in Ontario. I was like, I don't know. I'm not there. They're like, you're not? I was like, no. They're like, oh, you didn't make the top 100? Dude, I didn't make the top 200. I didn't make the top 300 or 400. I finished. Let's see, I even took a screenshot. I finished 469th.
I will tell you right now, I played more events in Canada than I played in the US this year. Because I think I played more when we come up and hung out than I did playing down here in the US.
Other than local league nights, I played 2.
Well, the big thing for me is we lost a lot of local directors down here because of, a lot of stuff going on and people moving on and doing other stuff. So it made it tougher. Like Monday nights when I used to play in North Andover, right around the corner from me with Al Castro here in the chat, it used to be an ACL points night, but then, life happened and that person stopped doing it. So it made it a little tougher, right? So if I wanted to get local points, the closest place I could play was out in Worcester. And for me, that's, 30 to 40-minute drive. I'm never going to be a pro. It's just not going to happen. I don't have that time or energy or even patience to do it. So I'm not driving that far to play once a week to gain my points. It just doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I became a pro, I wouldn't be able to do commentating for pro events.
Well, that's the hard part. Like, me and you picked our path a long time ago.
Yep.
Where I'm not saying we couldn't be champions because if me and you practice enough, we could kill everybody in the chat. But we picked our path a long time ago, what we wanted to do and how we wanted to be in this game. I much more love being like here doing this with you and being behind the cameras.
I'm the same as Russ. We have our JC Cornhole shop pro card.
Who?
Yeah, but that pro card, Russ, is going to be almost meaningless within the next couple weeks. Well, more on that later on.
Candy put it in the chat. Go to support@westgeorgiacornhole.com if you have any questions about either boards or bags. That brings you right to a mailbox that she looks at.
Yes.
For all the new bags. And I know a lot of people have hit me up over the last couple weeks about what is next for Titan. I will tell you that Titan retired 3 sets of bags in the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves some room for some new bags coming out. Don't know what they look like. I know there's a lot of R&D working on. I talked to the man, the myth. 4 sets of bags that can come out. I know the man, the myth, the legend, the squirrel hunter is is in the lab working with everybody else trying to figure out what bags are coming out.
I was gonna say he's trying to get out of the lab, trying to get the door, the door to open coming out of the lab.
Well, he's trying to get the sleeves loose first. But there'll be some new stuff coming out soon. Stay tuned. I don't know how it's working with Titan /West Georgia this year, but I do know But a lot of times with bag companies, and this is from talking to everybody in the industry, is that a lot of bags will be kind of formulated based on the players throwing, right? You
Yep.
first you figure out who your team is, and then you maybe kind of make a yes, Fury, Prowler, and Man of War. Ugh, Man of War makes me sad. Candy, I did submit a bag that I would love to see, which would be, Doug, I don't know if you know this one, would be the Man of War Fast Side
Okay.
with the old West Georgia Stealth Bomber slow side, which is almost
Yeah, I
a
haven't played
cheetah.
those in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, but like a cheetah, like a fast slow bag that would play like a 9.5, maybe 9.6, depending on the fabric you could find. That would be a
Yeah,
great.
I heard those have already been denied.
Greba already shut it down.
No, but it's I was going somewhere, but I totally forgot now.
No, but here's the thing, though. Like a lot of companies out there have new stuff coming out. A lot of companies are gonna tailor it more towards their pro division, so they can really get that equipment out there, right?
Yep.
Really get it so more people see it. Titan was very lucky this year with Jordan. Um, you know, moving forward in singles, and then Adam and Trey in doubles. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And then you had Phil and Steve that also made it to the Final Four this year. So
Mm-hmm.
those bags that Derek loves, the darts, really made a lot of noise in the cornhole market this year.
For sure. Yeah. So now I remember I was going about the whole pro and the championship thing. I won. I was the champion of the first ever official league in Canada. So that's all. That's all I need.
Candy, I loved the Hellfire. The Hellfire was a great bag. I just like the Stealth Bobbin a little better because it brought me back to my roots with that sticky icky. But the Hellfire had a little more spice to it. But the thing with it is, like, when you throw in bags, it really comes down to that bag that works for you, right, Doug?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I
for sure.
know you've thrown at least 20 different sets in the last couple years because
I'll probably tell them because see, for me, when I go to a league night, well, I no longer have a bag sponsor, so it doesn't really matter. I go and I'll tell people whatever you want to throw, I will throw. Whatever. It's like it's because that's just me. I'm like, there's some people that think I can only throw this bag, I can only throw that bag. You know what? Those new people, whatever bags you want to throw what you feel. But that's me.
No, but I've had this argument with people in the past, Doug, because there was one person that wanted to throw a certain set of bags out of Louisiana.
Okay. Yeah.
They might be a lucky bag. I don't know for them. But I had a set of Titans that was the same exact bag.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, your bag is floppy, mine's not. Let's throw this one because it's the same material. It's the same bag, just different stamps on top of the bag.
Mm-hmm.
And they could not get it in their head that it was the same bag.
Yep.
So they actually threw worse. So the second game, I had to switch back to their bags because they had this mental block that, my green bags are so good. And like, but my red bags are the same thing as your green bags, but they actually work for both of us if you just realize they're the same bag.
Yep.
So it's tough because, listen, let's be honest. There's only really, 12 to 15 different materials that are really out there today.
Yep.
And everybody's just flipping them inside out and upside down and dyeing them different colors. But, it comes down to how that person feels throwing it.
Yep.
Is really what it comes down to.
So then, talking about that there, and you kind of brought something up, comes out to a question that I put out just the other day, and I said we were going to talk about it here, being the league nights, same city, two different leagues running in the same city. Some people kind of went all off on this and that and this, and all I was talking about was just 2 leagues. Could be just 2 Knights of Columbus leagues or a Knights of Columbus and a different thing, or a Moose Lodge, doesn't matter. Just 2 leagues. I wasn't talking about any leagues, just talking about league nights, right? And for me, more cornhole the better. Right now, there's some people that they run leagues every night of the week because that's their job. Then you know what? That's perfect for them. I know they wouldn't want to see other people running leagues in the thing, but if you have a city like some of our cities here that have over 1 million people, 2 leagues can survive in a city of 1 million people.
All right, so I'm going to answer a couple questions here, Doug, just before
Okay.
we move to that topic. So, Candy's right. It matters if you throw a flat bag or you're trying to find a bag, right? Because depending on how you throw is going to really depend on the bag you're looking for. Yes, because different materials are going to act differently based on how your bag lands on the board. But getting to your point, so I'm here in New England. I live in Lawrence, Massachusetts, okay? And I always say I'm bad at geography, but I can give you some geography right here. I am less than 8 miles from the New Hampshire border. So I am 20 miles above Boston, okay? I can still get in the city, but I'm far enough away from the city that it doesn't make a difference. But where I sit right now, where my house is, if I pull up Scoreholio, if I pull up the ACL, on a Monday night, I have 6 places I can play. On a Tuesday night, I have another 6 places. Wednesday night, I have 5. Thursday night, I think I have 4. Friday night, I think I have 2 or 3. And then tournaments on the weekend, don't even get me started. I get everything from a bake sale to an estate sale. I mean, just today alone in my area, I think there were 9 tournaments playing today.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just on Scoreholio. That wasn't even other stuff happening in other people's backyards or anything else like that. So cornhole can survive.
Yep.
You know, it can survive a lot of different things because here's the thing. Someone like me is going to play a lot differently than Mark in the chat. So Mark runs a couple nights. Mark is high voltage here on me, Doug. He runs Monday nights in North Andover. He runs Tuesday nights in North Reading. He's also done some other stuff on Friday nights at a local like ice cream stand. He plays in a local league on Wednesday nights. You know, so he plays all over the place. It can survive. Even if you run a league, you can play in other places throughout the week.
Yep.
I don't think this is not the friggin' West Side Story.
Well, and there's some places that it becomes that, right? That it's that the butting heads of leagues, and quite frankly, there's some leagues here in Canada that you have to pre-register before the season starts, and they're full. Okay, so the people that want to play in a league, they need a place to play. And if another league pops up on another night, what does that matter?
Well, but here's my thing. So Mark, because of where he plays, right? He will have a couple nights that are limited because of space, right? Space and boards. So let's just say only on a Monday night, I forget the number, I'm going to butcher it, and he can correct me in the chat. But on Monday, let's just say we can only have 60 players, but we get 64. There's nights he can let that go over. There's nights he can't, right? But at that point, he has to change the format, right? You can't do 4 rounds of round robin into a double a limb because of the amount of people you have, right? Because a lot of these places want to be out by midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. You can't run this thing until friggin' 3 a.m. So, it makes it harder when you start doing these nights, but it can still survive. You can have to really grow this game and make it where it needs to be. You need to have access. That's 2 times. Yes, 2
You
times.
said that twice. You said that twice.
But you have to have access, right? And the place that we play on Monday nights, sometimes we don't get some of the beginners because of the talent that shows up. They get intimidated. And it's not the people, it's the play.
Yep.
Right? And that's a huge difference. If people make them not show up, that's where I have an issue.
Mhm.
That's where I'm going to start like yelling at people and talking some shit and being really upset. The play is a different story. I can't control other people's play. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I love I want to play against better people. Like John Clark in the chat right there. I want to play against John Clark because I know if I play against him, I have to throw a better game.
Yep.
And I have to raise my game. And I will go to those nights because of that, so John has an 8-to-1 player board ratio max. That's what he's saying.
Mhm.
But I mean, I don't like when people start claiming turf. Like
there's one city here in Canada, because I follow almost every league on Facebook here and watching some people, and there is one city here in Canada where there are 2 leagues that run out of the same venue on different nights.
And that's okay.
Listen, you know what that means? That means that there's a venue out there that knows that they're going to make money off of cornhole, and I've kind of said to a couple of people that are in that city, it was like, I want to have that bar on the show to talk to other people who run bars and whatever here to say, hey, you know what? Bringing cornhole in is a profitable venture for you.
Well, listen, when they figure out that it makes it profitable, it only benefits everybody.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It only benefits everybody they're playing.
So that was my thing. I put a question out there, and that's where we go back to what we were talking about before about putting stuff on social media, a post on social media. That was just a random question. Can two league nights survive in the same city? And other people just went off in 18 different directions. But it's just, can 2 league nights, I don't care where you play, what you play, people playing cornhole is what we want.
Well, and that's what it's about, right? It's about everybody making it better and playing more.
Yep.
Right? It's about everybody being able to get in the game and have kind of that space where they feel comfortable coming and playing.
Mm-hmm. That was just my thing.
No, and I love it, because I mean that's the big problem is when people start to feel that they own a night. I think it's crap. I just think it's complete garbage.
Or I've even heard some people talk about that they own the rights to cornhole in that particular city. Okay, so I can't play in my backyard because you own the rights to that city? Sorry.
Yeah.
Gonna play.
Yeah, that's garbage. Garbage. Complete garbage. If those people want to call me, give me a call.
Exactly, John. There's enough room in the sandbox for everyone to play. And when I talked with Bobby Sperry this week as well, he was messaging me. There's like 8 leagues in Buffalo that all are on the same nights, and it's just, it's kind of got the word from him that it's kind of chaos there, right? That it's everyone's kind of battling for space, and it's just let people play. Like, it's whatever. Well, it will. I'll just, and I'm guessing, just make sure some people can see it. There was a place that we played here with KW that, coming out of COVID, they were like, it cost too much to have an extra server on, so they weren't having us back. Right? I've now got word that, a couple years out of that, they're now a little more empty on the Monday night where we had that league. Right? Or that there was too much cleanup afterwards. Well, here's the deal. Don't give out free popcorn if there's too much cleanup after we're done playing. Right? You there?
No, I'm here.
Okay, you looked a little
No, I'm just listening because I hear the clicking sound is back.
I think that's on your end.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm hearing it right now. I had to put my AirPod in so I could hear it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's we're getting big enough that there's room for everybody to go and play, and just that's kind of my soapbox thing. But how about the other thing that just popped into my head because I kind of seen something? How about, I know in the States, I'm not sure if it's gonna, well, it probably won't come to Canada yet. We're probably a year, 2 years away from it. But Pro Division, there's now a women's Pro Division, a seniors Pro Division, and a junior Pro Division. I didn't get a chance to read everything about it, but I just kind of seen that this year as well.
I haven't read a lot about it yet, but I'm intrigued by what's going to happen this year.
Yes, I think this is going to be a big growth year for cornhole just in general, right? So, seeing Scott France in the chat saying some of us drive 40 to 60 minutes to league nights, and yes, Scott, you and your lovely wife come to see us in KW a lot, and it's just about having fun with people. Like you go to a league night to go fun. Al, I have no problem saying growing the game. It's that guy that's not there.
Hey,
right?
I don't like that term.
Yeah, well, too bad. It's a term, but you changing stuff up there so you don't have that crackle.
Yeah,
although
this is why you have a whole a kit of extra microphones.
but no, I think it's been fun, and since our last show, did we do? Yeah, we did do a show last week, didn't we? Yes. Yeah, we did. Which I'm not sure. I got to thank everyone because our show last week went through the roof. Not sure why. Don't care. But it was through the roof. The most watched show I've had ever. You can't hear me saying this, but it was. I was just watching it. Just the views grow, and even the show that I did with a little talking with Jamie on his birthday show that we did was kind of. It's always fun getting together with him because we can just have fun, and we talk crap about each other, and it's just fun. We had his brother Todd was there, and we were giving stuff away. We were tossing stuff at the camera, and hoping people would catch it. I don't think people did, but it was fun.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Any crackly?
Still a bit crackly. Honestly, I think it could be the platform that we're on. So I've been hearing people have been kind of having an issue with the platform that we are on. Right? So
I even had to switch microphones, and it's still.
We have the better half of the number one player, or I'm gonna call him the number one player. Do you know what this means? It means we went an hour 4. Right? So it's been a good night.
It's been a great night.
It's been a good night. You all set over there? You okay?
You're trying to make it all work. Can you hear? Oh, there it is, right there. I'm trying to make it all work.
Yeah, it's still.
Yeah, it's I can hear the static. It's driving me friggin' crazy.
Well, it's kind of. Jennifer says that some people would say different, that she's the better half, but I.
Listen, I almost had to drive to Ohio this week because somebody was talking crap.
Well, he got it. I think he got his jewelry this week. Did he not? I think I seen that picture.
Yeah, he got a cute ring from Cito, I think.
Okay. Which shout out to Cito. He's not in the chat tonight because he's a little busy. He is the Cancer Sucks fundraiser is today. So I'm seeing here who's popped in the chat and he's watching. Rammer, James Forbes. How'd the blind draw go tonight? I'm not sure. You guys are still like 10:30, so you guys are probably, I'm gonna say should be done it, but yeah, I'm not sure. But I guess I could look on the ACL app too, couldn't I?
Do you like my new microphone holder?
It's just your hand. Open doubles, the blind draw, dashboard open. Looks like they are done. And congratulations to Mike Stevenson and Jennifer Baker. They took down a big team of James Finley and Brett Castine. So good job, Mike Stevenson and Jennifer Baker. Some big names in the top four. Like rounding out the top four, that there was Kevin D. Tomasis and TJ Gilroy, finishing third, and fourth was Chris Shire and the always talented Ghost was with him. So he was Walker by himself, and he finishes fourth in a blind draw of 120 people. So, and newly minted pro Chris Shire, he got his pro card at the Nationals in Ottawa. You're still looking confused there.
Well, because even with just you talking, all I can hear is that little crackle, and it's driving me absolutely bananas.
I just hear it when you're talking, so it's obviously not me.
No, I can hear it when you're still talking. It's driving me crazy.
But yeah, so I gotta say you look kind of confused, but you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, so that's kind of par for the course. Candy, hey, there you go, Candy, right there. She's sticking up.
Don't stick up for Doug.
Yep, it's that. So yeah, those people. Derek's asking if you're going to be okay in the chat. It's those people that are.
Well, listen. Here's what I'm going to do. As soon as we sign off, I'm going to reset this entire board again. It's going to piss me off. I'm going to have to go back and put in every damn preset.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, all 7 of them.
So with that, we've gone over the hour. I say we're going to do like a couple minute show, and even for starting a little later than we usually do, we've still got we got a bunch of people watching, which is fantastic. It's what we love to do. It's what we have fun doing, and thank you, Jennifer, for that there, which probably teach your husband some money adding things.
But Doug, we're still invited to the garage.
Well, yeah, that garage, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so no, do we just sign off? We went like almost an hour 10.
I'm gonna reset here.
You gotta reset. So okay. So for everyone else, as he resets, he's gonna probably exit the building here. Thank you all for watching. We, like I said, off the top of the show, we won't be back next week. Oh, and now Jamie Cowan shows up, and I've seen he's got a little link on there, so he's actually watching on your feed. Thanks for the view there, Jamie. But again, no show next week. The regular job is taking over for me. I have to do the drive in circles thing. That's come back now. So Dougie Squires won't be seeing me next Saturday. He might go live on his own thing, but Dawn. I don't know who that is. Some Dawn is his favorite, but you will probably see me sometime this week. I will go live from Jamie's shop. We got some I don't think he does because he never has any plans. I've got some plans to do some stuff, doing some talking as we finish up the last week at the JC Cornhole compound. He is leaving and moving to a different spot. We're going to do some things because in that shop has been a lot of Cornhole in Canada. Has a lot of stuff has originated from that shop, as that was the original Octane shop along with the JC Cornhole. And got some plans to have some fun there next week. And yeah, so he can't say anything because he's finally, for the first time, he's gonna shut up and I can finish off the show. He can still hear me though. But have fun, be nice to people, watch what you post on Facebook, don't delete it, stand behind what you say, because as this guy's gonna, as my cousin says on his music show, my wife is real. For anybody you know, her name is Karma, and it is real. Yeah, and she well, now she watches the show, I have to say her name. So yeah, just have fun, and I will see you all in 2 weeks on a Saturday night, but I'll probably be live here this week at some point. See ya.